Well, good morning. It is time for the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show. How's All right, everybody. Can you see me again? Yes. I just looked down at my phone. All right, let me turn this down. It's so fun to be the director and the producer and the host and the salesperson and the everything. But this is what you have to do. You have to keep smiling because this is what happens in life. So, I'm going to have to talk to Mr. Mark Coulter, who owns Mark Anthony's, and figure out what's going on with his hard line here. So I just flipped some things around, played a little engineering, and all that matters is see all the little love signals? I've got my phone here so that I can keep an eye on stuff since I don't have anybody who works with me on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, which is, by the way, the majority of the show is when we're not in studio. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to come on the phone. And the reason why is I know that my team worked feverishly to get a particular segment ready for you today that I would not have been able to air if I had to come to you on the phone. So everybody's texting. I'm like, I don't have time to text back. Hold on. I'm playing engineer here. Figured it out. And here we are. That is all that matters, right? Let's reintroduce. It's the mobile Monica version of the real Monica Adams show in Kirkwood, right here at Jefferson and Kirkwood Road, just down the street from our title sponsor, Dr. Sarah Franco, Jamie, the staff at Envita Health and Wellness, doing some great things. Hopefully you saw their feature last week on IV hydration therapy for sports, for your kiddos in high school, college, pro athletes. As we get into football and soccer season, deep into it, the hydration that they need. And it was a really interesting segment. Go back and watch it if you didn't get a chance to see it. So it was that along with, we're changing the seasons from summer to fall. So we've got to take care of our skin a little bit different. So hope you had a chance to see that. And we want to thank, again, Dr. Sarah Envita Health and Wellness. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the show, and again, we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, you can do so by email me right there, info@therealmonicaadams.com. We thank all of our sponsors, and we thank the ones that have believed in us from the very beginning, and the ones that are just coming on, which, by the way, one of them is right next door to here. I'm going to talk about that when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Well, welcome back. I also want to tell you about my friend Kathy Kilo Peterson. We've really gotten a chance to get to know each other and want to change the world together. She's a wonderful State Farm agent. So as we're moving into storms, thunderstorms actually could be popping up for you today. And when things go wrong at your house, or maybe a tree falls down onto your car, you never want that to happen. Boating season wrapping up. But did you have any trouble with your boat? Are you going to get a brand new boat and you want to insure it? I want you to reach out to my friends, Kathy Kilo Peterson and her staff, about 80 years of service with all of them combined. And they're at kkilo.com. That's the website. You can take your phone out and just scan right there at 636-561-6460, or go online, as I mentioned, at kkilo.com and let them know that you found out about them through our show. I also want to remind you this weekend, I'd love to see so many of you at the Responder Rescue Benefit Dinner. It will be held at noon to 5 on Sunday, and that is on Old Highway 21, 5442 Old Highway 21. Trattoria Giuseppe. Can't wait to see Giuseppe and his wife, Grace. You saw her on a handful of weeks ago. All the proceeds there are going to Responder Rescue so that we can continue to help our men and women in blue and brown, the city, the county, police, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs. Don't forget about dispatch and communication. By the way, thank you to all of you for putting your lives on the line for us, for running into the things that we run away from. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, don't we? You get an incredible Italian dinner, and all those proceeds are going to go back. So make some room for some sweets too, because cute little girl is going to be selling you some sweets, and then that's where you can fill the boot out, and that the extra cash will go to our police and fire and EMTs and paramedics and communication. So Sunday, come ready to eat. $25 for adults, all you can eat. Incredible Italian food. And then for those 12 and under, only $10. Again, proceeds going to Responder Rescue. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Here's what I wanted to do. We've got about a 20-minute, really beautiful segment to kick off our fun Wet Your Whistle Wednesday that officially kicks off today. And we want to welcome our newest sponsor, which is Clayton Winehouse. I want to thank Chris for working with me over the last couple of months, and Sean and Tim and Craig, my brother who works over there. They are actually the ones that are going to be hosting our big evening with the real Monica Adams. And I know some of you have purchased your tickets already. You've got a handful of weeks left. I really would love to see you there. First of all, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite restaurants, Trattoria Marsala. I want you to have some good wine and whiskey. If you don't drink non-alcoholic drinks, I want you to be able to get some really cool items. Maybe think about Christmas coming up. Think about birthdays coming up. I always say that when it comes to live auctions and silent auctions. And the reason for that is you're going to get something that you want or something that you're going to end up giving. And why not donate to a great charity? So 100% of the proceeds from the live auction and the silent auction will go to Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, which we had Jessica Cook on yesterday, so they can continue to do the wonderful work that they're doing, helping those beautiful animals get their forever home. So mark the calendar, November 4th. Please start talking to friends and family members and say, hey, let's go out. Let's have a good time. You're going to go out probably anyway. Why not go out for this? Great food, great socialization, great thinking, but again, all aligning with the mission of positivity. You're going to get a little motivational speaking from me, and you finally get a chance to meet in person, which is what I've been wanting for a long time. So mark that on the calendar. We've got some big events coming up. November 4th is the biggest, an evening with the real Monica Adams and all of you. So purchase those tickets. Go to my website, therealmonicaadams.com, and join us, please. I can't wait to see you all. Let me say good morning to some of you folks. Leona, Linda, good morning. Beautiful walk this morning. Kathy Kilo Peterson, good morning to you. Yeah, we're going to go back to where it was frozen. We know that. I know that. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Kathy and Pamela and Tammy. Let's see. Yeah, right. Technology is the best. Can be. But it doesn't always work in your favor, and you just have to keep rolling with the punches. I do have it, Kathy. Thank you. Evangelist Saba, good morning. Good to see you, Kathy. Jillian, good morning. Good morning, Marilyn. Thank you, Michelle. Good morning, Joe Beatty. That sounds like a new name to me. Joe, are you new to the show? If so, did somebody tell you about it, or did you just find us organically? Thank you for what you do. Have a great day. Joey, good morning and welcome to the show. Bill Stadler, I think I've spoken with you before. Good morning. Hope you have a great day as well. We will be there Sunday. Good. We did call to let Grace know and plan to pay at the door. Absolutely. So they would have liked to have had RSVPs by Sunday just to make sure they have enough food for this coming weekend for the Responder Rescue event. But as she said a few weeks ago, if you come that day, obviously they're not going to turn you away, and they will have enough food because I know Giuseppe or Joe, and he always has enough food for you. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Kathleen. Good morning, Barbara. And good morning to Michelle Cardosi. For all of you that are tuned in, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about deeply soul searching of how life would look a little bit different if you chose a different career path. Think about that. Think about what you're currently doing. Or I said in the description, if you've already retired, well, do you have any regrets for not following a passion? And the reason I wanted to bring this topic up is I have 3 of my 10 private life coaching clients that right now, after working for 20 years, some for 30 years, some for 12 years, that they're saying, there's something more inside of me, Monica. And I was like, yes, so let's light the fire. Why let that candle burn out? And speaking of candles, by the way, have you all seen these lighters that do this? You see this little cool thing? See that little in between there? That actually lights the candle. So I'm going to light one. And this is my favorite. I have these at home and in the office. Watch this. Okay, can I see this? Look, this little thing look. And all you do is you charge it up like you charge your phone. Isn't this cool? Moth lighters. You can get them here at Mark Anthony's Gifts and Spa. A little bit of everything. I'm lighting a candle because I like to bring the light to your world. This is cask, by the way. a wonderful candle that we have here. Yeah, this is fun. See the store? This store, we transform it. We work out in the morning on the left side of the store. We move everything out of the way. The girls just left here, got a great leg workout, and then we push it all back and it becomes a store again. It's like little sneaky ninjas. You never know that we're here. So they have great candles, by the way, and it is buy two, get one free. And I just loaded up so that we have candles constantly for the set going in through the rest of the year. Some really wonderful kind of fire pit smells. And by the way, excuse me, weather-wise, let me get a drink. Weather-wise, the change is coming. Today is probably one of the last days of warmer weather. So let me give you your forecast, some little news you can use. We're going to look for like the high in the mid 80s today, still warm, low in the mid 60s tonight, but expect some pop-up showers to happen this morning, maybe into the afternoon. And then again tonight, some pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, you'll be in the 70s with a little clouds, maybe a little rain that might come in. But on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get ready because fall is finally here. Upper 60s for the high. And I even heard in some of the low-lying areas, maybe the low in the 30s, somewhere in the 30s. Can you believe that? We've gone from, are we ever going to get into fall to, hello, fall, it's here. So if you've been waiting to do the bonfires, have some friends over, sit around a bonfire, this would be the weekend to do so. I love it. Okay, let me see. Joe just said, I have listened to you when you were on the news and when I can watch your live feeds and hear the great information you give us. People just need to seize the day and don't dwell on the negatives and enjoy the positives and smile knowing you control your day and it does not control you. Joe, I love it. I love to hear from everyone that's tuned in. Joe, where are you watching from, by the way? Everybody go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. And please begin to share, not only for you, but please share and follow and like our live stream. Let all the people know that are family and friends and coworkers of yours that are not on social media. We are on YouTube. It's just at The Real Monica Adams. Just get used to that handle because that's pretty much on all my social media. Twitter, I'm on, and I'm going to get a little bit more active on that. I need to do more on my Instagram page. Facebook is where our biggest presence is, my business page and people following my personal page. So they're on both sides. And then we're on YouTube. This Thursday, by the way, you're going to hear a beautiful show on the audio podcast platforms. And that's all of them, whether you listen on Amazon or iHeartRadio or Apple iTunes or Spotify. Listen to this show of surviving. This is Marty Henley. We featured her over a month or so ago, but a lot of you probably missed that. And if you did, she is a lung cancer survivor. And you want to talk about a beautiful presence and a beautiful soul. That's what the show is about, telling you about what's going on in your community, having a little fun with you, telling you about some neat events coming up, and then shining the spotlight on wonderful human beings and what they go through and how they survive that. And hopefully you see yourself in every story to say, oh, wow, my little problems that I think are boulders are really just little pebbles when I hear about surviving lung cancer, surviving brain cancer, young kids going through what they're going through and having that will to survive. So Marty Henley, tomorrow, please listen to that. That's on the audio podcast platform. And by the way, that is brought to you by our newest sponsor that you get a chance to hear every Monday, not just hear, but see every Monday. And that's Dr. Charles Willie. I've had people reach out to me and said, Monica, I want him to be my doctor. And I said, that's what I figured would happen because it's not common to have a doctor that would spend the amount of time that he does with you. And I mean you, the doctor and you together, as well as he's made house calls. It's just, I've watched him so diligent with the seniors that I used to train at Friendship Village. So I know him firsthand. He's been my boss in the past, and he's now my husband's doctor. He is my doctor. I trust him with our health. My mom said she wants to switch to him. I have had this new friend, Jeannie. She said that she wanted to switch, and I was like, that's what this is about, introducing you to wonderful people. Michelle says, I live in the western end of Colorado, where I am at. It was 35 last night. Wow. Me and my husband have watched you for years. Thank you, Donna. Clearwater Lake right now, Rose says. I love that too, that you don't just listen and watch when you're here in St. Louis, but when you go on vacation, take us with you. In fact, we can get you some flyers. We can get you a digital copy if you want to print them out yourself. And then when you go on vacation, hand those flyers out and tell people that you meet, hey, I watch and I listen to this show all about positivity, all about giving back to the world. And I think it's something you might want to watch as well. We have met somebody from London. He wrote me the other day. Not only does he want me to do some custom work for him because he's a tall drink of water. He's a tall, lanky fellow, very model-esque, but he's tall. So it's hard to just buy something off the rack, right? So he's like, Monica, I want you to do some custom clothes for me. If you don't know, I'm a design and wardrobe consultant, have been for men for many, many years, very into fashion. For those of you that have watched me on television, you know that I'm big into fashion. And now we can do custom work, custom jeans, custom blouses, custom shirts, custom pants, custom vests, custom suits for women and skirts. Love that. And then, of course, from jeans to kind of Lululemon pants to polos, all the way up to tuxedos, shoes, ties, all of that can be done for men. So yes, that's a part of one of the many things that I do. You can find out, by the way, of everything that I do at therealmonicaadams.com, our website. Okay, I want to talk to you today. Bennett Springs currently, Kathleen says. Thank you. Donna, you do need the doctor. You know what? I want you to hear from him, and then we're going to talk about changing career path. Think about this. When's the last time you called your doctor at 2 o'clock in the morning and he actually answered? Well, at Innovare Health Advocates, their patients are special. Their doctors, nurse practitioners, their care team care deeply about your health, your family, your work, and even your pet. Their clinicians are accessible and they lead your care in and out of the hospital. In fact, Dr. Charles Willie offers his cell phone number to his patients to ensure they can intervene early in your illness. They can provide care above and beyond, offering lab, x-ray, echocardiogram, and other treatments in their office. Innovare Health Advocates with 5 locations on both sides of the river. Check them out, innovarehealth.com. And there you go. Dr. Charles Willie can become your doctor. You know, he told us on Monday he is associated with 11 different hospitals, but he also has 2 wonderful partners that have been taught by him. So the same education, the same mannerisms, the same deep care. So check them out. I would love to hear if you switch to Innovare Health Advocates and they become your doctor and how much better your care becomes. All right, all of you that are tuned in, we've got Wet Your Whistle Wednesday coming up here shortly. But before we do that, tell me, what career path are you in right now? And are you satisfied with what you're doing? So I look back when I was a little girl and growing up, I wanted to be a physician. I think a lot of you know my story that I was studying sports medicine, physical therapy. I did athletic training. And those are all the things that helped me as a personal trainer from the education standpoint. I think what makes me the trainer that I am, though, is the caring aspect of what I went through with my blood clot, truly caring about the change, the transformation that someone can make. I just love to see somebody light up when they start to get the aha moment and that we can educate them on how they should properly take care of their life. And again, I came up with life coaching years back. I mean, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now, but it's something I've done for 25 years because it always went beyond just the physical training. It went beyond teaching the proper way of eating. It went beyond how important it is to drink water. It went beyond, hey, these are the macronutrients and micronutrients. It all went into, hey, Monica, do you have 5-10 minutes? Can we sit on a curb? I've got some things I want to talk to you about. Because it was this, right? Always got to chill. It was always the mental side. And I would sit there and it wouldn't be 5 or 10 minutes. It would be 15, 20, 30. I had to be checked on that sometimes. My family and friends would go, where are you? Like, you're supposed to be meeting us. I know, I'm trying to take care of this client. So that was the people pleaser in me for the longest time until I realized, you know what? My time is valuable. You know, it's where the whole know your value mantra came from. And so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to schedule time for life coaching. And so I started a transformation journey group. And on Thursdays, we started our life coaching class. And then when I walked away from television, I was able to open up my schedule more for private life coaching because I knew people needed to go deeper. On those Thursday nights, by the way, it goes deep and people have cried and they've let things go that they haven't let go for years because they felt the circle of trust. And I've always said, it's kind of like the HIPAA aspect with a doctor and a patient. This all stays right here. You can trust. And once they realized that other people had the exact same problems going on as they did, they let go a little bit more, let go a little bit more. Men, women, children. And that's what I really, truly loved. And what would happen in some of those, and what's really happened here since the beginning of the year, I started hearing people say, you know what, Monica, you inspired me to step out of my comfort zone and realize that there was more passion and that what I'm currently doing I had more in me. And so, is there a side hustle in you? Is it an actual career change? Or have you retired and have you thought back, if only I had leaped, if only I had followed my gut and followed my passion, or if I had done what I really wanted to do and not let somebody else stand in my way? That's what I want to hear from before we do our fun Wet Your Whistle Wednesday segment. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. It's a lot of fun, and it's our newest sponsor, Clayton Winehouse, which you'll hear from every week on Wednesdays. We're going to introduce you and we're going to educate you to wines, whiskeys, tequila today. We're going to do a white wine and a tequila today, by the way. And a lot of you I know are getting ready for the holidays in November and December. So please don't go to a big box store and go and buy your wine or your spirits or your beer or even your sodas and your food for charcuteries and things like that. I want you to support the people who support this show. And I love the fact that we're introducing you to a brand new one. And I do want to say this, and this is really cool. So if you want to go in and just get a bottle of wine, you just sit there and talk to them and have them introduce you to something new, whatever it is, walk in, tell them, hey, I'm a big fan of the Real Monica Adams Show, and I understand I get a 15% discount. Yes, as soon as you go in, just for watching the show. I mean, how cool is that? We're going to have more and more people that are going to offer things like that to you and give you that just because you're smart enough to know that you want to change your life. So Clayton Winehouse on Clayton Road, check them out. Beautiful space. You're going to love it. You're going to walk in and go, wow, I've never seen a place like this that sells wine. Exactly. You're just going to be immersed in how beautiful it is. And please don't forget, even if you don't need an event space, walk down and look at it because it's one of the coolest event spaces I've ever seen. So Wet Your Whistle Wednesday coming up in about 10 minutes. But before we do that, just let me know. I'm interested, first of all, in what do you do for a living right now? And what would you do if you could change it all? I would have been a physician. Or so I think. Kathy says, I was also going to be a physician. I was the head mouse surgeon in the pathology lab at WashU. Wow, never knew that. She's so cool. You're going to hear from her, by the way. She's coming on the show this month. And boy, does that woman have a story to tell. So that was pretty cool. Kathy, happy National Taco Day right across the street. Mission Taco. That's interesting, though. I heard something in the news. Mission Taco, I believe, is being sued by the regular just Mission. You know, all the you go to a store and there's all these things that are from Mission. I heard Tom Ackerman talking about that today on Camo X. Need to look into that one a little bit more, or you might want to look into it. Very interesting. I wonder what will happen with that. That's Mission Taco's been around for, let's see, since 2013, so 10 years. But Mission brand of all these different foods, they've been around a heck of a lot longer, and they just found out about the St. Louis Mission Tacos, and there's a lawsuit. So I wonder if they're going to have to change their name. I found that pretty interesting. So yeah, happy National Taco Day to everybody. Good morning to you as well, Carrie. Everybody else, we've got a handful of people on. We got about 30 people on right now. What do you do, or what did you do? And if you could do it all over again, what would you have changed? I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be an actress. I did some of those things growing up as a little girl. I still love to sing, still love to dance. So those are some side things, hobby-wise. Wonder what would have happened if I would have followed that. I always used to say, I wonder if I had gone into acting. Where would I have been? You know, you don't want to do the what ifs, but it's just fun to think. But the physician was the one that I really, really loved. Always. In fact, my brother Brian, my brother Craig, and myself, we all wanted to be doctors. My brother went into, his degree was in biology. My other brother as well. My middle brother had Hodgkin's disease, by the way. So that kind of threw him off course. He always got really frustrated. He took the MCAT, did not do well on it. You know, did the whole self-hate and went off on himself. And I was like, my God, you were coming out of cancer. You know, what do you expect? And I think it was just God kind of taking him off course and having him follow a true passion of his, which was wine. And he became a sommelier. And he used to run the Mid-America School of Wine, which actually taught people to become a sommelier. He worked at multiple wineries, and then he opened his own wine shop. Did any of you ever go to Vino Vitae in Lafayette Square? It was the coolest place. And right about now, he would have been having a harvest party, which I miss so much. Loved those. But now he's still in the industry. He works at Clayton Winehouse, which you're going to hear about here shortly. And he also works at Malincrot. So I love him. Love my middle brother, Craig, and then my big brother, Brian. He worked for UPS for years and just retired within the last few months. So proud of him as well. But it's always interesting of, would any of us, if we took a stand and said no, and went against the way God was trying to guide us. You know, if you open yourself up, you'll feel the guiding hand and the guiding force and the faith that will edge you over to that path. And that's what happened with me. I was never going into broadcasting, was never even in my mind. I just loved, like most of us, watching Karen Foss and Mike Bush, the best sports person that the St. Louis has ever had. Mike Bush, Karen Foss, Dan Gray, oh gosh, Deanne Lane was great, Kay Quinn, Rick Edlin. You can tell I watched Channel 5 at the time. Channel 5 was way different as we were growing up than it became. But everybody, I mean, I talked with somebody yesterday and they said, it's so interesting, Monica, you know, news is a dying breed because you can get your news sources anywhere. I was talking to Tammy Holland, who, by the way, you will see on the show on Monday. Tammy, what a story that woman has. She used to work overnights for KSDK. She worked in radio for a long, long time. You probably recognize her name. She worked with Magic. She used to work with Tony Scott. They used to do a morning show together. So Tammy Holland will be on with us Monday, and you're going to hear a story of survival and unbelievable guts. She'll be on with us on Monday. Please do not miss that show. Tell everybody that you know that used to listen to Tammy. So she was in broadcasting. We had a great talk yesterday, and she's like, Monica, I'm so glad you got out of the field because it really is like people don't watch the news anymore. She said they get their, you know, their news, what they want, and instantaneous in so many different sources. And she's like, trust me, what you're doing now is going to change lives and connect with people more than you ever did in your 30 years. And I was like, thank you. I believe that as well. But yeah, Tammy, it was interesting. And she said, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't for Brown and Crouppen. She does all the media side for Brown and Crouppen. And she's like, if it wasn't for them, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. And I was like, isn't it beautiful to have faith and let God guide you? Because that's what happened. Let's see, who else? Let's look at some comments here. I'm retired now, but honestly, I wanted to be a Monica Adams, 2 years of communications, journalism. Interesting. I wanted to make a difference. Life happened, went down a different path. I tell my kids, it's not what you do to make you a success. It's who you are. You are fulfilling my dreams. Wow, Rose. Well, you know what? You're a good human being, and that's how we change the world. That's kind of a part of the question is, if you could do something else, would you have done something that you feel gives back to the world more? My dream job as a child was an art teacher, Linda says. Instead, became a stay-at-home mom, then a school secretary, so I at least made it into a school. At that same time, I shared my art and crafts selling them. I still share and sell crafts as a retired person, only doing as much as I want, and I love it. Right? Feed the heart. I'm a retired cook. I wanted to be a dietitian or a sports reporter. Oh, I love that, Stephanie. Carrie, I wanted to be a pediatric nurse. A lot of medical. RN for 41 years, says Kathleen, recently retired. Congratulations. I was in a career I loved, so many different avenues in nursing. Yes, thank you to all the nurses out there. Donna, my goal was to get Hi. Somebody just knocked on the window. My goal was to get my education in dance, but God placed me in social work, education, and work with kids and juveniles. Still love to dance though. Right. Dance like no one's watching, or dance while everyone's looking at you and saying, gosh, I wish I could dance like you, or just have the love. My husband asked me to dance last night and I just lit my heart up. Knocked me over with a feather that I would work in insurance 16 years ago. Kathy offered me a career path and I have never looked back. This is Marilyn, by the way. I loved her passion for taking care of her clients. Yes. A career with animals, or she says a career with animals, Donna says. Great anchors. Love Tammy Helen. Right, Pamela? I can't wait for you to see her on Monday. I wanted to be an Air Force pilot. Michelle, I never knew that. Went through all of the testing, but then they said I was too small. Isn't that interesting? It's really interesting to see if that would still be the case today, because my mom wanted to be a stewardess or a flight attendant, and they said she was too small. But now I look and I'm like, there are all sizes, all shapes. It used to be you got to look this way, and it all was women. Now you've got guys and you've got girls, you've got all sizes. I don't know about the height thing, but it had to be obviously that you would be able to put the luggage up in the rack and be able to handle people in an emergency. But yeah, it's very interesting. Actually, Jim wanted to be a Marine. They wouldn't let him at the time because of like some asthma testing. And now he says that that's not the case anymore. So it's interesting how our world changes. Rose, dream job, talk show host. People seem to share stuff with me when I don't ask. Like a bartender. I find it a compliment. You know what? Bartender, a hairstylist, and a personal trainer. We all get everybody's life stories. Michelle says, I was lucky enough to get a chance to make my dream job come true thanks to Mr. Denny Long. He trusted me enough and saw my passion to be a Clydesdale hander at the brewery. Michelle, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Michelle Cardosi. Did you also know Jim Poole? Because Jim, I'm told, took care of the Clydesdales with his equine company. And that's how I had the Clydesdales, by the way, at our wedding. Terry Lanham, I've always wanted to work at Busch Stadium on the grounds crew. I love outdoor landscaping and the atmosphere at ball games. Isn't this fun? Told you we'd have a little fun. It also makes you soul search a little bit of, if I had a chance to do it all over again, what would I do? So I've got physician in me. But one of the reasons I think I didn't become a doctor, at least at that time, is that I am very open-minded to Western and Eastern culture medicine. And I think at the time, a lot of physicians weren't. I used to do In the Spotlight, which was a wonderful show on Sunday mornings on WIL. We did that for many, many years. It was a public service for a lot of community organizations and a lot of doctors on my, I just started a lot of physician and health talk because I was a personal trainer. And I would get these doctors to come in, and it was always what they said when the microphones were off. It's when the microphones go off and the camera goes off, when it's truly the show after the show, and you always go, I wish people could hear this side. And now they can, but they said that they felt they would have been the laughing stock of their field back then, because they said that doctors didn't have an open mind to Western or alternative methods or holistic or what we call homeopathic medicine. I think I either would have been one of the very first physicians to do that, or I would have gotten out of the field, because I would have said, why? We don't have to always be throwing medicine down someone's mouth and masking things when we should go into the root of the problem. There's a beautiful marriage that can happen between Western and Eastern culture, I truly believe. And actually, I want to talk to Dr. Willie about that on Monday. If you don't know, we started 2 weeks ago, Medical Mondays, Ask the Doctor segment, and I'm going to ask him the mindset, after 40 years of being an incredible internist, what his feelings are now of the opening of the mind by doctors and nurses of Eastern Western culture medicine. That wasn't the case when he was in school or in his first 10 to 20 years. I think that would be a good one. Don't forget, you've got to bring your questions forward for him on Mondays. Start thinking about them now. In fact, you can write me if you have them in advance so I can let him know in advance. Okay, Dot says 29 years in the hospitality industry, and now I'm a real estate agent. Love helping people. My passion. See? And it's never too late, by the way, to change. Kathy says, Michelle, that is so cool, right? Okay, we're going to hear from 2 more of our wonderful sponsors. And by the way, if you know anyone that would like to become a sponsor of the show, Invita Health and Wellness, Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialist, I hope Jeff and Toy can come on and tell their story soon, because what they've gone through with this kind of freak thing that happened with their daughter and completely changing their lives, but still being able to do the customer service that they do. I just love them. Jeff and Toy at Aldon Indoor Air Quality Specialist. So again, heating, air conditioning. Don't call anybody else, because you know that they sponsor this show. You know they're a big part of this show, as well as Carroll House Furniture. And then we had Florida Direct Palm Trees, hoping to get them on for the change as they go down into the Ozarks and change their store around to Santa's Toy Shop. I can't wait to talk to you about that. We then had Kathy Kilo Peterson come on, and now Innovare Health Advocates. And we're growing to right next door, 119 North. Pat Carr is coming on with us in just a few weeks. So the list of sponsors is growing. And why? Because all of us together want to change the world. And it's same mindset. We all think alike. Okay, this has been fun. Telling me what you've been wanting to do. Wet Your Whistle Wednesday coming up after the break.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carrollhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
Of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. So much fun. You just heard it. It's time for Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, and we are officially kicking it off today. Clayton Winehouse is our sponsor. We love the guys over there. Chris and I have been working for the last couple of months to come up with this. So much fun in this segment. Chris and Tim and the entire gang, including my brother Craig. So if you do events at Clayton Winehouse, you'll probably have Craig and the staff waiting on you. We'll talk about their event space, by the way, coming up very soon. I'm not going to drink alone because that's no fun at all. You always want to have this social aspect and drink with friends. So let me introduce my guest and my dear best friend. This is Michelle, who you many times see in moderating. Michelle also does a lot with the set in the morning. She does a lot with our website. She also is involved in events. And the event we have coming up, by the way, Clayton Winehouse. She just went to Kansas City with me. She calls herself
Gal Friday.
Gal Friday. It's Michelle Harmon.
Hi.
She's excited about this segment. She gets to drink with her best friends. So the things that we're going to talk about, besides the beautiful white French wine that we have, and can you believe we're coming straight out of the gate with tequila? Okay, Chris, he's like, yeah, let's feature this really good tequila. This is, by the way, the Clayton Winehouse pick. This is the tequila that they really love right now. And then we'll talk about this beautiful white wine, but let me show you this. So I wanted to pick a beautiful 2015, and that is because that's the year that my husband and I got married. So it took us a little bit. There was about maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 7,
handful.
15s. There were some 2009s and 10s, and they've got so many really amazing wines there. But this is a Soretto Barolo 2015. So if you want special occasion wine, or you just want everyday drinking wine, and Michelle and I are actually going to talk about that. I have all too often opened really, really, really good bottles of wine when I probably shouldn't have, right?
Yes, but, life's too short. Life's too short. You want to enjoy it while you can.
But sometimes it's just like my husband would go, oh my gosh, you're opening that wine? Holy cow, hold on a second. There are some wines that are very, very expensive, and then there's easy drinking everyday wines that are $15, $20, $25, $30 instead of opening a $100, $200, $300 bottle of wine. You don't have to. And that's something that is in the education of wine. That's very important.
Yes, exactly. Oftentimes my husband will ask what's for dinner, and we have a wine cellar, so he'll go downstairs and he'll try to pair it with whatever we're making. And so I'll say one night, oh, we're having leftovers. And he's like, what goes with
leftovers?
What goes with leftovers? And he'll come up with a bottle of wine. And sometimes it can be like a very, pricey bottle of wine. But like I said, life's too short. Let's enjoy it.
We went to Napa Valley several years back, and that was one of the things that the guys said at Camus. And somebody said, well, when should you drink this? And how long should you lay it down? By the way, all those things that may sound a little over the top or a little pretentious or a little snobby, no, there's a true education and a love and a passion for wine, which that's why I love wine so much. It is the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into just one bottle, the farming aspect of it all, the agricultural aspect of it all, the seasons, the soil, what kind of weather do they have? And we do a great job here, by the way. I mean, this is the first viticultural region, by the way, Missouri, and the white wines that we do, the German, the Rieslings, things like that. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of Norton, the grape, which is the grape of Missouri. I don't think you are either.
No.
But I will always try. And I've had wonderful wineries that we have here. We're big fans of Chuck, by the way, at Defiance Ridge.
Yes.
We also love Harold Hamby down at La Chance. The Hoffmans took over several of the wineries in Augusta. I just remember my college years going to Mount Pleasant. And I'm going to admit, rolling down the hill.
Yes.
After a few too many of these.
Back in the day when you used to bring your own food, they don't allow that anymore.
Yeah, we do miss that. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still some that are out there, but it's kind of few and far between because they have their own food. By
Yes.
the way, when you go into Clayton Winehouse, and it's right there on Clayton Road, not far from the Brentwood area, right around the corner from where we are. We'll give you the address and the website, etc. Not only can you get good wine, you can get good whiskey. We'll be featuring whiskey on the show. Tequilas, beer, non-alcoholic as well. I saw a lot of that there. But then good food
Yes.
that you can make a
Yes.
board like this.
Yes. Which I did at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, she's such a doll.
It's lovely.
I was like, I think we need snacks if we're going to be drinking early in the morning. Yes. So, you know, good chocolates. I said there's even a chocolate there that made me smile the first time I went to Clayton Winehouse. I was like, oh, Michelle would like this. It's Bijou.
Bijou.
Which is what's the connection with that with you?
That was my grandmother's nickname. So my grandfather used to call her Bijou, which is jewel in
Okay.
French, and her name was Julie.
So Bijou, there's Bijou chocolates that maybe some of you have tried.
Yes.
We're going to try some of this, but
Yes.
today we're going to feature. So at Clayton Winehouse, they have their store picks,
Mhm.
and it's a little dangerous to be doing tequila, but this is their favorite right now. Now you have you took some French, right? You have a little French background, so you'll be able to
Yes.
tell us a little bit about this.
Yes.
But as well, what does this stand for?
So that is Spanish mal de amor
Stands for what?
is bad love is
Oh,
what I
no.
understand it to be.
Anybody else that takes Spanish? We're going to do a little Spanish and we're going to do a little French. This is actually a mezcal, which I haven't had in a long, long time. And when's the first time you had tequila in your life?
Oh,
College?
goodness. I couldn't even tell you.
Mine had to have been college.
Probably.
And it was
Probably.
not good tequila. And
Yeah.
that's the problem is that you have something that's not good and
Yeah.
it leaves this weird taste in your mouth. And then you
Yes.
always remember that. But
Sometimes, depending on how much you
how
have,
much
whether
you
you
had,
remember
maybe,
it or not.
yeah, it's
But
the
usually once
blackout.
you smell it, you're like, oh,
Oh.
no, I remember this is a no-go.
However, when you have good tequila, I
Mhm.
have been told that
Yes.
you can do just sipping. So it's not
Yes.
about chugging it. As you can see, we do not have any salt and we do not have any limes
No
on
mixers.
set. We are not chugging. We're going to
Yes.
put it in a fun wine, or little shot glass. What
Yes.
does yours say, by the way?
So mine says Mommy's sippy cup.
Mine says, "Is my fabulousness showing?" Oh yes, I love that.
picked that
It's
one
all
out for
about
you.
fashion.
Yes.
So we're going to pour this tequila, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because this is the Clayton Winehouse pick. So when you go in, they're going to give you 15% off, by the way. I am told that any of you want to go in and you can buy these picks or anything that you want to pick up. So when you're needing something for dinner or the holidays,
Yes.
Michelle,
They
are
do
right
gift
around the corner.
baskets. I saw
I
some
know.
gift baskets there.
They do
so.
wonderful gift baskets. They are getting ready for the holidays, though, because we're already in October, but we've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up. We have New Year's coming up.
Mhm.
I'm very big, and as I know you are, on supporting local.
Yes.
So why get to a big box store and purchase what I know you're going to need for the holidays, for you, for your family, if you're hosting?
Hostess gifts.
Please do me a favor, support those that are supporting this show because I know that you're very big on making sure that this show continues and we can start doing fun segments like this. So we're coming out of the gate with tequila, but a good one. This is the Clayton Winehouse pick. So mezcal, which I said I haven't probably had since college, but I certainly didn't have a good tequila. So let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a rare blend of Mexicano and Tabala. Tabala agaves.
Okay.
Okay, so there are just 40 bottles available and it can never be reproduced. Isn't that cool?
Interesting.
So again, there you go. You can see a little bit of it. She thinks it's bad love. Look at the heart on there. How
Cool.
cute is that?
Very cool. You see a lot of those
again,
in Mexico.
Rare blend of Mexicano and Tabalo agaves. Mezcal, by the way, is the fastest growing category of spirit in the United States. It's an agave spirit obtained by distilling match from these steamed hearts of various types of agave. The word, actually, let's just use the word alone. The word mezcal has its origin and the language of the Aztecs. It means cooked agave. I didn't know that. See,
Did
this
not
is
know
the
that
education
either.
aspect.
Did not know that.
Much like tequila, mezcal can only be made in specific regions of Mexico, but can be made from a wide variety of agaves, not just Weber blue agave. It is often cooked in traditional pits, imparting a smoky flavor.
Mhm.
This mix of agaves provides a smoky, earthy note and one of fresh citrus, creating a unique, rich taste. I'm actually glad that we're doing this because
Yes.
Whenever we've gone to Cabo together, we like that sound. Oh, that actually smells really good and smoky. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to chug this because that's not what you do with good tequila. We're going to have a little sip of this. And that is what should be done. So when we go to Cabo, they have a tequila tasting, a little tequila tasting. I'm just going to do that because I'm going to need some food.
We did one, we did a food tour in
And did you
Cabo.
tequila tasting?
And they did a tequila tasting afterwards. And we learned a lot about tequila, and we did have some mezcals.
Wow, my husband would love this. The smell of it alone. So one of the things that has really become popular, Michelle, is doing the smokiness of Manhattans and old fashions, more
They,
so old
they
fashions.
bring it to you, and it's like
So-
covered in
yes.
glass, and they open it up, and the smoke comes out.
Right.
It's a whole experience.
My brother bought one of those for my husband, so he can do that on his own. He's like a
Ooh.
little chemist. You smell the smokiness?
Oh, yes.
So again, this is all about the education of alcohol, not just chugging, because that's the whole thing. Well, that's just life in general. That's what we've been teaching on this show. Being more present,
Yes.
being more focused, enjoying, making the memories together. So not throwing something in and having a little Jose Cuervo and, the song Tequila Makes My Clothes Fall Off. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh, there's some dangerous
Is
things.
that a country song?
It's a country
That's
song.
why I don't know it.
There's some dangerous things that have happened. I'm sure all of you have memories of, holy cow, what was I doing? Shots, shot, 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 shot. That's a song too. That's the aspect of tequila you've probably done in the past. Do not do this with this.
No.
This is probably a bottle you'll have a little while. Great for the holidays. It's a sipping. So ready?
Yes.
Let's have a little sip.
Well, that's yummy.
Yes. Oh, it
That
still
is
has
yummy.
that burn.
It does. It does. That familiar burn.
But not like
No, it is good.
not like a bad, okay, I remember going to Cancun and having the tequila with the worm.
I've never eaten the worm.
I did.
You would.
I live on the edge. I was like, what the heck? I also wanted to go bungee jumping
She
there.
eats the
I would have
worm.
eaten the worm and went bungee jumping after that. And I probably would have tossed the worm up. This is good.
It is good.
It
It's-
stays right on the tip of your tongue.
It does. And it does have a little citrusy to it. I can taste some citrus.
So if you see what I'm doing, one of the things what we do with, ooh, this is smoky. One of the things that we do with wine is doing the swirling. And when you go to like different wine regions, I love being taught about good wine
Yes.
and where it hits on the tongue. We've got
Mhm.
all the different senses depending on where do you have it touch the tip of the tongue? Might taste a little different.
That's where your sweet taste buds are.
Right. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, and then you go back into salty.
And your salties on the side.
Right.
And then the sours in the back,
Yep.
I believe.
There's some education for you.
Yeah.
That's very good.
We're
but
not
this
just
is-
about drinking here.
No,
We will
no, no, no.
educate you.
We're educating you. Once again, if you are just tuning in, it's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, and it's brought to you by Clayton Winehouse. Our friends, you're going to see every Wednesday, and we're going to feature different aspects. Tequila and white wine we're starting off with. Michelle and I are big red wine fans.
Yes.
But you like some good whites too.
I do, especially in the summer.
Yes, because we've got some hot summers. In fact,
Yes.
this year we had a hot fall, the beginning of it
Starting
at least.
off, yes.
But now we're starting to get into what is one of my favorite things to do. Anybody who knows me, I love to sit by a bonfire and have an incredible bottle of red wine.
Yes.
And that's what we have coming up.
Yes.
That one, by the way, that we're going to talk about today, let's go ahead and stay on that shot. This is, and I'm going to let her do it because I've always wanted to learn French, and that's on my bucket list. But Michelle actually has a little French background and took French. So this is a 2020 Chateau Beauregard
Chateau de Beauregard de Cour.
Blanc, which is
Yes.
white.
Entrée de Mer 2020.
It's a Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon grape mix. And this is actually what we were talking about, $24.99. That is a great price point for a good bottle of wine.
Sure.
Okay, so this is, we both pulled up notes on this. Now, these notes were provided to me from the guys at Clayton Winehouse. So I'd be interested to see what our app, we love to use this one app. But according to the guys from Clayton Winehouse, it's a fresh, floral, and well-balanced wine with a light, creamy quality to its flavors, hints of rosemary. Oh, basil. I am a huge basil fan. Oh, and honeysuckle with a lime zest character. Its location between the rivers of Bordeaux provided with a crisp, mineral-driven finish, much like Sancerre. It's great new region to explore for Sauvignon Blanc lovers and will pair well with salads, fish, and lighter fare. I do want to say this though. Everyone always believes, because it's something that was taught in the past, that white wines go with fish and red wines go with meat. No, it's also about the sauces and the seasonings that you use.
Yes.
And what do you enjoy? That's the way it's now they
Exactly.
just say, what do you want to have with it? Don't have too much going on, too much in the flavor profile that you're like, that just canceled this out. That canceled this out. You ready to try some wine?
I am. I am.
Okay, so again, this is a good $24.99 Entrée de mer.
Entrée de mer.
De mer. Okay.
Yes.
So I need Sophie to come back from Belgium. Sophie was my husband's foreign exchange student years back, and she came in and she's like, "Oh, Monica, you're doing good." So she would teach me, and she's like, "Oh, you're really good at." I'm a good student. I love that. Oh, listen to this.
I think I need something to
That sound. Oh, to get rid of the
kill
tequila.
the tequila.
Okay. So
Here,
yes.
Here's a cracker.
You know how sometimes when you're smelling perfume and they tell you to smell coffee beans, it's the same thing. You have to have something that cancels out other flavors.
I don't want to crunch the cracker in the
Oh,
microphone.
that's good. Okay, you gotta let's pour this for you. So
thank
once
you.
again, if you're just tuning in, this is Michelle. She's joining me on the very first Wet Your Whistle Wednesday segment, which is brought to you every Wednesday by our friends at
Clayton Winehouse.
Okay, let's
So
taste
I
this.
just want to say I've been waiting a long time, working with Monica on the show for a long time, just for this moment.
I tell you what,
Finally.
cheers to this. It's been a lot of hard work.
Yes.
It's been very fulfilling. And
Yes.
cheers to you.
I love
and the
you.
staff. Love you too. George, Lori, Caroline, who's back at Syracuse. Now we've got Hannah and Zach. My husband, Jim. My sister-in-law, Tina, is going to be taking over while Michelle's in Malta. It truly takes a team to put on the positivity in the world. All of us together. We all align with each other's mission. And this is cheers to all of you in the community and all of you sponsors that have believed in us. Let's taste this.
Okay.
Ooh, that's very refreshing.
I got a lot of pear up front.
You got pear? I've got the
I got
lemon.
pear.
Hang on, let me. So did you eat the cracker?
I did. I
did
had a
not.
little
See,
bit.
I still have that
I had a
smokiness.
little bit of cracker first. However, there's a little pepper in this cracker, so it's kind of not as
It's got a
muted
good
as it should be.
nose.
Very good.
Very refreshing.
Mhm.
So we're coming out of summer in the hot days, but it doesn't mean you still can't have a white wine as you go into fall. You do you. That's the biggest thing. If somebody else is
Exactly.
drinking red wine, you're like, I don't like red wine. First of all, get educated on it, because I was the same way, Michelle. I was like, I was in my 20s. I don't drink red wine. Red wine reminds me of church. Church dry wine is what I always thought. I thought all red was dry. That's not the case. And thank God for my brother, who, by the way, is a sommelier. He introduced me from whites and did a very easy transition to a Pinot Noir, which is really, they say that
Lighter.
that is the white drinker's red. And I would agree with that. I then fell in love with Cab Franc. I fell in love with blends. And normally, if a Cab and a Cab Franc is in it, I love a Petite Syrah. I love
Petit
Syrah.
Verdot.
I love Italian bought that Barolo. French wines, reds, I still, I love being introduced. When you go to wine dinners, though, a lot of times the Bordeaux wine dinners are they're usually paired with a lot of more gamey, which is not my palate. But I will always, to me, you just have to try things in life. You're missing out if you don't.
Right.
But I'm more of an Italian red fan than I am a French red fan. But that always can change because your palate changes. So just don't turn your nose up to it. Don't say no. Just try. Let someone introduce you, though. But let someone who knows what they're doing introduce you.
Yes.
Don't just pound wine down.
Yes.
You're not appreciating what went into the one bottle.
Well, my husband introduced me to wine because when he first he actually says it was like the biggest mistake he ever made was introducing me to good wine, because I was drinking the $8 bottles of Gewürztraminer.
She was drinking Mad Dog 2020. Let's get for real
I
here.
was not.
Mad Dog, Boone's Farm.
I was not. I wasn't that bad.
Just kidding.
But he started introducing me, and like you said, he kind of eased me into finding where my palate was, and I actually did start enjoying some of those big, fruit bomb red wines.
Oh, and I still love fruit.
So
But
another thing, don't judge somebody. If someone is wanting to get a glass of white wine with their steak, don't judge them.
No.
That's what their preference is. It's like wearing white after Labor Day. Yeah, that's an old thing. That's an old saying.
It all got thrown out the window.
Yep.
Now it's
Move
you.
beyond it. Yep.
Before we wrap our segment up, what would you pick from that beautiful charcuterie platter that you would pair with this white?
I would say some of the Swiss cheese.
Okay.
And then there's some summer sausage over there close to you. I would
Grab
not
a little
say,
Swiss.
I know that there is.
Oh, this smells yummy.
Because I know Monica really likes pepper jack cheese. I
Yeah,
put
but I
some
wouldn't
pepper
do
jack
that.
on there, but that will bury the wine.
Yeah, so you have to watch out with, like I said earlier, you have to watch out with a lot of spices. Watch out with too many things going on. But one of the things I love, and my sister-in-law was one of these, and then have some meat. See how we share? My sister-in-law used to say, I don't get what you guys are talking
that goes
about
well.
when you say that it changes with food. She
It
never
does.
understood that. And then she got the aha, and I literally could see the light bulb above her head. She got the aha moment of, oh, it really does. And I said, it does. Here's the thing. Don't judge any aspect of any part of what someone wants to do. Let them do them. You stay in your lane. If you're not a wine drinker, then don't be a wine drinker, but at least maybe try every once in a while. Because I love guys that used to go, no, I'm a beer drinker. Oh, wow, I do like wine. Like my husband wasn't a big wine drinker, but he enjoys good bottles of wine when we go out to dinner. Still a big whiskey man. And I, by the way, will open my mind to go, I'll try it all. It's usually very bitter tasting to me. But there have been some that I go, holy cow. Like Johnny Walker Blue, by the way, is a fabulous scotch, but I like some of the bourbons that he's given. I was like, okay, that's not bad. And then maybe trying it with, turning it into a Manhattan or an old fashioned. I used to love a Washington apple, which is Crown Royal, a little apple pucker and cranberry. So that is a whiskey drink.
Ooh.
So when you don't just take it all off the board and say, I'm not a
good.
whiskey fan at all. Yes.
Yeah, just depends on how it's prepared and the quality of it as well. That's something else. You have to really appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into the wines, the tequilas. It's a lot of work and love goes into these things, and I can taste the love.
There's a lot of love in this. I'm going to end with this. There was a winemaker in Napa that said, if you're looking to make a lot of money, don't go in the wine industry, because it's all really more of a farming industry.
Yes.
And he said, yes, sure, we make money. And yes, sure, people come, but people look at someone who owns the property of a winery and they just think that they're billionaires. And they're like, do you have any idea? It just all depends on what is this particular season going to bring us. It could completely wipe them out. And think about the fires that they've gone through.
I was just thinking of that.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of hard work. And so to you, farming industry, agricultures, all the men and women that go into making these incredible bottles of wine and the tequila. Clayton Winehouse, we are so thrilled to kick off Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. These segments are going to be so fun. Exactly. So much fun. We want you to whistle with us. So go in. This is the cool thing that they're doing. 15% off right away. All you have to do is say, oh my gosh, I love the Real Monica Adams Show. And I was introduced to you by Monica and her friend Michelle. And all the incredible segments that are to come. Now, one of the things my mama taught me, I'm getting crackery, I'm getting it on here, but one of the things my mom taught me is to not eat and talk on the air. So that I am not going to do. But again, one more time, the Clayton Winehouse pick of the tequila. We want you to go in and ask about the, how do you pronounce it, Michelle? Mal de Amor?
Mal de Amor.
It's an ensemble mezcal. And then also the 2020, say it, Chateau Beauregard.
Chateau de Beauregard du Coeur
Blanc.
Entrée du Mer.
It's a Sauvignon Blanc, and it is a Semillon. Those are the grapes that go into this.
Yes.
And that is what we decided to use. Well, they decided actually to kick off for our partnership.
We don't get to choose.
No.
They choose them for us.
But one of the things that I think will
more
be
exciting.
fun is it won't just be wine and it won't just be whiskey. It could be tequila. By the way, today is National Vodka Day, so we should have done vodka. National Vodka Day, so vodkas and whiskeys and rums and wines and tequila and beer and all of that you can find. Don't go somewhere else. I want you to support local. Go pick up your stuff for your charcuterie platters. A lot of hosting coming up. And by the way, they've got an event coming up on October 21st. 21st. Porks and Corks.
Porks and Corks.
How much fun. Barbecue and good wine. So if you want to go to that event,
I'm out of town.
You can check their event page, ClaytonWinehouse.com. They are located, by the way, at 7911 Clayton Road, Clayton, Missouri. And then just go to their website and look at the event space.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning.
It's beautiful.
It's like you go to the Sears Tower and you're stepping on the glass and you feel like you're going to fall down.
Yes.
You're not going to fall, but that's what you walk across to look down at this beautiful event space. And
don't wear a skirt.
Yeah, watch out. They can see above. That is
right up.
that's where we're holding our event. That's what I'm going to end with. November 4th. I'd love to see you. We would love to see you at Clayton Winehouse. We're going to have food from Trattoria Marsala, mind-blowing Italian food. We're going to have a ton of different types of wines to taste. We'll have some whiskey tasting. We'll have motivational speaking, and then we'll have a live and a silent auction. The auction proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, are all going to Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. So come on, let's raise money so they can continue to do the wonderful work that they do. This has been fun.
Yes.
Not sure what we're going to feature next Wednesday. That's why you have
And be
to tune
surprised
in.
to all of us.
All right, we've got some wine to drink and tequila to drink. We're going to share it with the
And
staff
some food to eat,
and some food to
because
eat, because I don't eat very often.
she needs to eat food.
All right, everybody, it's been so much fun. Again, every Wednesday you'll be able to see Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in.
I need some more. I'm not wet enough.
Uh-oh. Hi, it's Monica Adams, and I just want to say thank you so much for following along since we launched The Real Monica Adams Show back in March. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that our team can do for you. From styling to emceeing to life coaching to personal training, motivational speaking all around the world. If you have a company, a corporation, a business that would like to book us, email me, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Let's change lives together in person. info@therealmonicaadams.com. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment, or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. I was trying to comment while the segment was going on, but that's going to be so much fun, and that's going to be every Wednesday. And if we have a little bit more to talk about, we might even sprinkle some in live on Thirsty Thursday. So some education. As I told you, it's not just going to be about sitting there drinking wine, but I'd love to bring some of the guys on from Clayton Winehouse to join us to maybe educate you on different aspects of what they have there. They all have a very storied history in the wine industry, and you got a chance to see it. We walked through, took some really beautiful pictures and video, and that's where you're going to join me. Buy those tickets. Go to therealmonicaadams.com. Go to the website and join us. $75 for the ticket. Food from Trattoria Marsala, whiskeys, wines. You'll get a chance to try some of their favorite picks, and then 100% of the proceeds going to Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue from the live and the silent auction. It's going to be so much fun. I would love to see you there and to meet so many of you in our community, this community that's been growing since March 1st. And I love you all for doing so. Again, if you know of someone that wants to be a part of our show, you're seeing on the scroll, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to comment always, and then let everybody know about the wonderful work that we've been doing together to change lives, to educate you, to have a little fun, to shine spotlight on some of the wonderful businesses in our area. And we want to thank again all the sponsors you're seeing here down below. Before we wrap up, we're going to talk about the blueprint for value from our friend Jeff Kozatek, and we're on number 36. It's 52 habits to discover and strengthen your personal worth. We're almost done with this book. We're going to need a new one when we're out mobile. There will always be imperfections, folks. It's about doing your best for the day, finding satisfaction in your work, closing down a project, and moving forward. And if you aren't careful, the pursuit of perfection can grab you like a black hole. It can rob you of precious time, creativity, your energy, your resources, your growth, your hope. Perfection is unattainable. I've told so many of my clients this. Stop trying to be perfect. You'll never be perfect. We are imperfect human beings. When you stand on intrinsic value instead of external value from success or from failure, you have the freedom to give your best effort and move on. Give yourself permission to pursue excellence and avoid that trap of perfection. So your takeaway for today, strive for excellence in your effort, not perfection
in your product. Everybody, thank you so much. It's been a fun show. And think about those things in life that maybe you weren't able to do, the career path that you chose. Would you have chose something different? Do you still have time? Have you retired, but now maybe you want a little side hustle? It's just to make you think a little bit more, soul search. I love to do all of that. Pamela, Julie, have a great day. You're so very welcome. We saw some people on here watching from Africa. I talked to a guy from the Philippines yesterday, and he said he was going to start watching. I loved that. He happened to be working at 4:30 in the morning, and he was my customer service for part of the Wix, which we run our website through Wix. And he's like, "Can you tell me more about your website?" He's like, "This looks great." And I said, where are you from? And he said, "The Philippines." And I said, "Well, please start watching and then share to your family and friends and start spreading this all over the world." So everyone, thank you so very much. Again, as we said, every day you can go out and be anything that you want to be in this world, this vast world that gives you incredible opportunities to grow and maybe have a side hustle and maybe even change your whole course and your whole life's path. But before you do any of that, remember to be kind. God bless you.